Time.
Yes.
Okay, we're going live.
We're live.
Okay, we're live. So I'd just like to welcome everyone here for the April 27th meeting for the Planning Commission. Just like to acknowledge we have some of the public with us in the audience today. Welcome and thanks for your participation. Also wanted to acknowledge this would be Commissioner Sunloft's last meeting with us. He's moving out of the city, so we'd like to acknowledge his
I'm ashamed.
long tenure with the Planning Commission, longest served Planning Commissioner that we're aware of, at least in recent history. So
Yeah.
thank you for your service,
Yeah,
Commissioner Sunloft.
thanks. It's been good. When or where? When? We close on Monday. So next week, we're moving next week, yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, and then we'll also, that kind of leads into our next item of business. We have the oath of office for Erin Young, so we'll be welcoming her to the Planning Commission this evening. So we'll proceed with that.
All right, Erin, if you'll come up front with me. Raise your hand and I'll read to you, and then you can repeat the words right on the board. I, Erin Young,
I, Erin Young,
having been appointed to the office of Kaysville City Planning Commission member,
having been appointed to the office of Kaysville City Planning Commission member,
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support,
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support,
obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
obey and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Welcome. You may
Yeah.
have your seat.
Yeah. Welcome, Commissioner Young.
All right.
You're all official now.
Okay, well,
So our next item of business is a conditional use permit for Hestia Construction.
Hold on, point of order here. Do we have meeting minutes to
No.
approve?
We don't.
Okay,
I was told that they're quite lengthy, and so that they would have them ready for the next meeting.
perfect, thank you.
Thank you for
meetings.
your question.
There were some technical difficulties, and we've had a really slammed week with a lot of things going on. So getting them, we want to have them done right, so we'll have them for you for the next meeting, so. The applicant is not here. I was under the impression that she would be here, so I'm happy to start. If you'd
Yeah,
like
go
to
ahead.
table it,
Yeah, let us
then
know,
we
give your
can.
report.
Or just not worry about it and bring it back.
What do you want to table it? Or I should say continue it? Is that's what,
I mean, yeah. I'm
Let's,
good, and
why don't
see
we
if
go?
she shows up by the end.
Why don't we go through and just get a feel for it and then see what we want to do?
Just go through it?
Let's go through it and then make
Okay.
it, is that okay?
yeah,
And then
that's fine.
if we decide, or are you saying, well, let's push the others forward and then come back? What's it needed?
Well, that's what I was thinking. But I mean, we could have you go through it.
Are you here with Hestia Construction?
No.
Okay. It's up to you.
I think that, I'm fine with either way, but I think that it might make sense just to move it back, and then we'll see if she shows up. If not, then we can continue with the other.
Let's just make a motion to move it. So I'll make a motion to move this till we'll move item 3 to after item 5.
Second.
Thank you.
We have a motion to move item 3 to after item 5 and a second. Let's just do a voice vote on this one. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so that is affirmative, and so we'll go ahead and move that. So we'll go on to the next item, which is a rezone. This is a rezone request for the public hearing for 120 South Main Street from an HC healthcare district to a PB public business district for applicant Lane Kamalu. We'll go ahead and turn the time over to staff to give their report.
Alrighty, that one will be me. About a couple weeks ago, a gentleman come in and was gonna lease out the bottom portion of the address as 102 South Main. It's where Dr. Kamalu has been conducting office space for.
The address is wrong.
Oh, what's the address?
120.
It's 120.
120.
Okay.
120 South Main. He's been there for a number of years, and then we pulled the building up. I looked at it, and it wasn't zoned for the new occupant that come in. So all we're trying to do is rezone it so that it will be more compliant to what the doctor's office is, and for the new business coming in. It's a professional business. He's gonna just do book work, and he's got a wholesale company that disperses items to different convenience stores. And we don't really see much traffic or problems with that business. The zone around it has been always on the land use map and future land use as commercial. So I don't see that being detrimental to anything.
It conforms with everything else.
So basically, that's probably the best way just to describe it, keep it short and sweet, is we're just trying to keep the office space that is being used now as in line with the zone and the future business.
I guess we'll, to the applicant, do you want to speak to this or have anything to add to that?
Sure, hi, how are you?
Doing well, how are you?
So I've been zoned healthcare for several years now. And I've always leased to Rambler with a walkout basement. And I've always leased out the basement area. For the last 3 years, that it has been all healthcare. But now I'm leasing to someone else who's not healthcare, so I wasn't aware that I needed a zone change, but apparently I do. I guess I can practice healthcare under professional business as well, so I can do either one. My business remains the same. I just need to be able to lease my lower level out to someone else who has a professional business. That's simply it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Any questions for the applicant while we have him up here at the podium?
No, I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Seems pretty straightforward, so
Yeah.
let's go ahead and have you sit down then.
Okay.
Since this is a rezone, we do need to have a public hearing for anyone that would like to speak to this. So we'll declare that public hearing open now. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to this item? I see some shaking of head no. So we'll go ahead and close the public hearing for lack of any comments from the public. So Commissioners, any discussion items we need to have to this item?
And we received no comments online? Okay. No, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think we just bring it into compliance. I mean, I think we just move ahead and make the motion to rezone to public business at 120 South Main. So I'll just make the motion to do it, do the rezone at 120 South Main to professional business and leave it there.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion for recommend approval, I should say, and a second. So we'll start the voting with Commissioner Packer. Aye.
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 I'll just note before I vote that there are other PV zones in the area as well, so this fits right in. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so that passes unanimously, and thank you, Commissioner Summercorn. That is good to have findings of fact, that support our decisions. All right, we'll go on to the next item of business, item 5, which is, yep, you have that passed. So now that'll just go on to the City Council for approval. Do you know when that will happen?
My guess is that it will be on the 18th of May for that.
Okay, great.
All
right.
right.
So we have a final plat subdivision approval for Johnson Farms located at 60 North Angel Street. And then we'll turn that over to staff. Who's going to speak to that particular item?
Yeah, on the agenda is 602 South Angel Street up there on.
Oh, okay.
guess this is me too. So if you'll remember a while back, Johnson's came in and was rezoned to R114. They brought in the preliminary plat, it all passed. They've got, if you want to look at the map on there, it's right there. If you'll remember it, I'm sure that what we've done now is we've got all the drawings done. Dexter's gone through, everything's up to snuff as far as drawings on the detailed sheets that they sent in. All the lots match, they all meet setback, or frontage, square footage, setbacks for houses will work. Everything seems to be in order, and staff recommends there's no reason that wouldn't be recommended for approval.
And it looks like we just, on that last slide, we had the recommendation from the city engineer that all the items were met.
He sent us a statement saying that he's gone through it all and we're good.
Okay. If you're going to make a comment, can you please come up to the,
The owner you had on there was Dave Johnson, Evelyn Trust, and I'm their owner, so if you, I don't know if that means anything when you approve it, if you need to change it to meet development.
That I don't know. What we'll have to do is probably talk to Dexter and see if the county records it under the ownership now or how it was
I guess it doesn't record until I approve the land anyway.
It's contingent on the plat for approval. Yeah.
and could you just state your name too, just to make sure we have you on record, like who?
Taylor Meek.
Okay, thank you.
maybe Wilf would know how that works. Do you, sir? When
So-
they record it, we just record it as is, right?
Well, yeah, and I mean, the owner will have to sign the plat, and whoever the owner is at the time you go to record it.
There we go.
Okay.
All righty, thank you, sir.
Okay, any other questions for staff? If not, I would be willing to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve final plat, recommend final plat approval for subdivision for Evelyn and L. Johnson Trust, David Johnson at 662 South Angel Street. And I make that motion.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion for approval and a second. We'll start with the voting with Commissioner Lyon.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
All right, so that motion passes unanimously. So the final plat is approved.
And that's done because it doesn't need to go to city council. So once we're done with
Yep.
the final plat. or the-
Yep, this is the final step, so. All right, and then it looks like that we haven't had anybody show up for Hestia construction.
No, I'm not sure.
In the past, we have gone through it. If the planning commission sees no reason that we would need to have them come in and discuss something, we've done it before and just, hey, it looks good to us and roll it. And then if we do have any problems with them later, we can discuss it like we would any other time. But yeah, if you want, I would just run it through and then we'll talk it over and see if they want to just vote on it or table it.
Well,
Yeah.
then we're going to do it. So as you
Okay,
can
go
see,
ahead.
this is for Hestia. Let's see. Hestia Construction, and Candace West is the owner. I've spoke with her. She's a contractor business and specializes, like it says in the packet, basement finishes, off-grid homes and cabin remodels. She's the only employee and will be using her home mostly as a business. She has a truck and a trailer for the business, and currently the trailer is at her home due to water damage at the location right now, just with all of the moisture that we've been receiving. So the trailer isn't typically there at her home. I asked her about the hours that she'll be coming and going, and it really is just dependent upon the job and the location. It sounds like she's up in the mountains and all over working with cabins. So all of the supplies and deliveries are made on site and not at her home. She does live at the end of, it's not a cul-de-sac, but it's kind of an elbow street there. And so you can see, this is the street, this is the map, the aerial view of where she lives on Creekside Lane, and here is her home. And she is right in the middle of R18 property. So staff is recommending approval as far as we've discussed, parking of equipment on the home and hours and not having employees there at the home. So we are recommending approval of this home occupation.
I can speak on her behalf of maybe a little bit too. When I went and set up the sign there, she's got a driveway on the side of her house. It looks like her truck was there, but it's in the driveway. So I'm thinking that her parking's not going to be a problem or any issue with the neighbors. I didn't see any materials or anything laying on the side of her house or anything.
We haven't received any calls or anything.
I haven't received anything. So, yeah, my recommendation is that it's pretty well kept there.
Okay. What is the commission's thoughts on this? Do you feel comfortable going ahead? Personally, I think I would be okay with going ahead.
I would be too. I just want to ask Mindy, so they'll meet all the requirements about employees and vehicles?
Yeah, and I was very specific in asking, do you have employees coming? Do you have clients coming to the home? And everything is done on site or over the phone. So it really is just a home office. However, because it falls under a contractor business, it fits the major B home occupation, and therefore it needs to come to Planning Commission.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think it speaks to the business that the neighbors, there was not any correspondence, or there haven't been any phone calls other than to just ask what's going on. We haven't had any complaints or anything in regards to it either, so.
I guess the only question we have to ask ourselves is if there's any additional conditions we have to impose, but it sounds like that this is pretty much covered by the ordinance as is, so.
Yeah. Mr. Chair, I would make a motion that we grant approval for the conditional use permit for a major B home occupation for Hestia Construction, owner Candace West, located at 455 West Creekside Lane, noting that all of the requirements of the city code have been and will be complied with.
I'll second.
Great. Okay, we'll start the voting with Commissioner Keach.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, that motion passes unanimously. So we do have a next item of call to the public. Anybody that's here would like to speak, come forward. If you could state your name, please.
I would. My name is Tony Powell. I wanted to just come before the commission today. I noticed an agenda item has been removed regarding conditional use permit for Cody Cunningham. I guess I'm just looking for some insight, one from the city on the reasons that was pulled. Was that?
So there were several letters of correspondence that had come in. Mr. Jessup had placed the sign last Friday, and we received some letters or an email from you and one other resident at the time. And Mr. Cunningham called shortly thereafter, speaking. It sounds like he has spoken with you and some of the neighbors, not wanting to cause any more friction, or it wants to be compliant and be a good neighbor. And so he said that he was going to be looking for a commercial location this week, somewhere to store his supplies and also somewhere to keep his trucks. He said that he did have one employee that is not on site, and then one employee that has a truck that comes back and forth. And so we had talked about that. And anyway, that was part of our discussion, but he's saying that he was wanting to do that, and so therefore he doesn't need to have a conditional use permit since he'll be going to a commercial location, and so that's why it was pulled from the agenda.
Okay. I appreciate that. I guess my concern is, obviously I spoke to him directly and wanted to do so before I submitted any comment letters, but I guess the conditions still continue. Chief among those concerns is, the hazardous storage of items that continue to exist on the property. I'm a little bit at wit's end because I've spoken to him directly repeatedly over a long period of time. my challenge or frustration is the permit gets pulled, although just kidding, I'm not gonna do this, but we continue to have a zoning violation that's occurring. I guess I'm looking for input, insight, direction from the commission or city on.
So
reasonable
now that
steps.
we've pulled that, it's on my radar, so on Monday morning, first thing, I have it set on my agenda to reach out to him and see how his commercial location is going, because it's not, in our ordinance, it's not permitted to run a business without a license in the city of Kaysville. So if we need to do a cease and desist until there is a commercial location, that's something that we had talked about. The other is that our water department is now involved, and so I think they're working, I don't know, with him, through him, or whatever. They've also reached out with concerns.
I've spoken to Logan about that
Okay.
issue. He indicated to me that there was potential that involved the health department in that issue.
So they are aware of the situation, and so I'm working with Logan, as well as our director is involved with that as well. So.
I appreciate that and the addressing the issue, and just appreciate the city working to continue to move forward with the correction of that long-standing and been very patient, I believe, in that process and direct the honor, so thank you. So,
Yeah, we're aware of it.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, we'll call the public. We'll turn the time to the staff for other matters of, business at this time.
This could be a record breaker early out meeting.
I like these kind of records.
I do as well, especially when you have to do the minutes on them. It's much nicer. It's just been a pleasure to work with Josh, so you will be missed.
Yeah.
Getting to know you and your knowledge and your care and love for the city of Kaysville. This is a great place to raise a family, and I know it's with sadness that you have to go across the border. So
Yeah.
anyway, thank you.
How many years, Josh, have you been on?
I think we were saying 9 something total.
Wow.
Because it was like year and a half or 2
At
before.
7 years, we stopped counting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like common law marriage, right?
Yeah,
It's
right,
just
right, right.
here forever, so.
So, yeah,
That's
it's
great.
been good. I mean, there's been, I don't know how many people, commissioners that I've sort of, served with or whatever.
I asked him
but,
tonight
yeah.
what his why is. That's a long time to devote your Thursday nights. Maybe you should just share your.
Yeah, I mean, it's partly because sort of professionally both, I'm now an attorney, as most of you know, but, so I think that's helped lend some expertise. But before I went to law school, I was kind of in the sort of real estate development industry, design professional. I was a landscape architect, and so I wanted to lend some of my expertise, if you want to call it that, some experience. And then I just loved Kaysville, and I felt like I could offer something and wanted to serve, and so here I was, and here I am. Yeah.
Well,
So,
thank you.
yeah, thank you. It's been good.
Have you met Mayor Petro?
No, I haven't.
They need help.
Okay.
Reach out to Joy.
Okay.
Hey, can I pop in real quick? Melinda just texted me and said that Logan has contacted the health department, and she knows, so they're all aware of everything, so
She is watching.
she is watching.
Linda.
Hi, Melinda.
Big brother's watching.
Yes. Mindy's doing a fine job.
We got it all under control. All right, let's end this thing.
Any other calendar items or anything that we need to be aware of?
No, we're
coming
just
up?
back to meeting schedule regularly, back to 2nd and 4th of May, so 2nd and 4th.
There is the Utah APA Spring Conference.
Is it, I got an email for online or something today, but when?
I don't know if I'm not sure it's online, but it's in Vernal, May 10th through 12th,
Okay.
if anybody's interested. I'm guessing that you're still offering and allowing planning commissioners to go to trainings.
Vernal's gorgeous that time.
Just kidding, I don't know, are we? I believe so. I'm not sure if it's more the local ones, but I will talk to her first thing tomorrow.
Vernal's gorgeous that time of year. Come on.
whatever.
Okay, so we'll wait for that answer on that. Anything else, commissioners, before we adjourn? Okay, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All right, we're adjourned.